Vr01 presents Edgar Allan Poe's classic short story, The Cask of Amontillado.
The 1,000 injuries of my friend Fortunato I had borne as best I could, but when he ventured upon insult, I vowed revenge. He had a weak point, this Fortunato, although in other regards he was a man to be respected and even feared. His weakness? He prided himself on his connoisseurship in wine. It was about dusk one evening during the supreme madness of the carnival season that I encountered my friend. He accosted me with excessive warmth, for he had been drinking much. He had on a tight party-striped dress, and his head was surmounted by the conical cap and bells. My dear Fortunato, you are luckily met, and how remarkably well you're looking today. But I've received a cask of what passes for Amontillado, and I have my doubts.
How? Amontillado? A cask? Impossible! And in the middle of the carnival?
Yes, and I had my doubts, and I was silly enough to pay the full Amontillado price without consulting you in the matter. I mean, you were not to be found, and I was fearful of losing a bargain. Perhaps someone could aid in determining its authenticity.
Come, let us go.
Whither?
To your vaults! We will try this Amontillado.
My friend, no. I would not impose upon your good nature. I perceive you have an engagement.
Ha! I have no such engagement. Come!
Putting on a mask of black silk and drawing my roquelaire closely about my person, I suffered him to hurry me to my palazzo. I passed down a long and winding staircase, requesting him to be cautious as he followed. We came at length to the foot of the descent, and stood together on the damp ground of the catacombs of the Montresors. The gait of my friend was unsteady, and the bells upon his cap jingled as he strode.
The cask!
It is further on, kept in the catacombs. At the most remote end of the crypt, there appeared another less spacious. Its walls had been lined with human remains, piled to the vault overhead in the fashion of the great catacombs of Paris. Proceed, herein lies the Amontillado. In an instant, he had reached the extremity of the niche, and finding his progress arrested by the rock, stood stupidly bewildered. A moment more and I had fettered him to the granite. In its surface were two iron staples, distant from each other about 2 feet horizontally. From one of these depended a short chain, from the other a padlock. Throwing the links about his waist, it was but a work of a few seconds to secure it. He was too much astounded to resist. Withdrawing from the key, I stepped back from the recess.
The Amontillado man!
True, the Amontillado! As I said these words, I busied myself among the pile of human remains which I have before spoken. Throwing them aside, I soon uncovered a quantity of building stone and mortar. I began to vigorously wall up the entrance of the niche. I had scarcely laid the first tier of the masonry when I discovered that the intoxication of Fortunato had in great measure worn off. I replied to the grunts and yells of him who clamored. I re-echoed, I aided, I surpassed them in strength and in volume. I did this, and the clamor grew still. I had finished a portion of the last and the 11th row of the masonry. There remained but a single stone to be fitted and plastered in. But now there came from out the niche a low laugh that erected even the hairs upon my head.
A very good joke indeed. An excellent jest. We will have many rich laugh about it at the palazzo, eh? Over our wine, eh?
Amontillado!
Yes, the Amontillado. But is it not getting late? Will not they be awaiting us at the palazzo? The Lady Fortunato and the rest? Let us be gone!
Yes, let us be gone.
For the love of God, Montresor!
Yes, for the love of God! But to these words I hearkened in vain for a reply. I grew impatient. Oh, Fortunato! Fortunato! There came forth in reply only a jingling of his bells. I hasted to make an end of my labor. I forced the last stone into position and I plastered it up. Against the new masonry, I re-erected the old rampart of bones. And for the half of a century, no mortal has disturbed it. Requiescat in pace.